All right, let's start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu 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 namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Tisarana gamanang paripunang Panatipata veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adina dana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Abrahmacharya veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musavada veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Sura meraya maja pamadatana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Vikala bhojana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa Sa. Tonight we skipped the guided meditation. It's quite a number of Q&A session, Q&A questions. So, for those who just arrived, then welcome to this last 2 weeks of the Vasa retreat. So this will be the last batch. And while you are here, then you're expected, of course, to meditate, follow the timetable, 1 hour walk, 1 hour each, 1 hour walk, 1 hour sit. And then the interview session, I think, will be begin on, for those who just arrived, will begin on Thursday. Yeah. Some, yeah. Oh, yeah. Else we'll see. And then, while we are here, of course, this time, for the most yogis, these last 2 weeks, compared to other 2 weeks, usually during a retreat, the first 1 week, 2 weeks will be more yogis. Until the end of the retreat, then very few yogis. But this time it's all upside down. It's okay. Anyway. And also, while we are here and during lunchtime, you all don't have to come down immediately after the bell rings. After 5 minutes later, or more or less, you come down after that, breakfast and also lunch. Yeah? Don't quickly rush down. Take your time, because usually what I want is that I want to clear the devotees who come and offer, they leave, then yogis come down. So don't have to rush. And so while we are here, yeah, the next testing will be on Wednesday, I think. Okay, so let us start off with the Q&A session. It's quite a lot of questions out for tonight. Okay. Let me remove this one. All right, okay. Question 1. During sitting, when touch points no longer remain at its original place, and we do not see the hands or body formations, only felt the sensation somewhere in front. 1. Where do we note the touch point during this time? 2. Is this something like experience of anatta? Okay. During sitting, the touch points no longer remain at its original place, and we do not see the hands or bodily formation, only felt sensation somewhere in front. Where do we note the touch points during this time? 2. Is this something like experience of anatta? Okay. Now, while you are noting the sitting and touching, and then the sitting and touching is not like in front of you, okay, or not at the original place. Now, this type of phenomena, when we are meditating, every now and then, as if like even the rising, falling, or even your certain sensation, or even like sometimes pain also, they may not be there like you used to note, Sometimes it can come like somewhere in front of you. Sometimes it's like in front of in front of the eyes, in front of the face. Sometimes it may not be in front. Sometimes it may be used to be left, then it goes in, then this thing is somewhere in the right. Uh, So the original place and so on, you begin to sort of like, uh, you know, this dislocate from the place. Uh, uh, so this type of phenomena, they are actually very, usually yogis will notice them quite frequently. Now, what happened during this time? All you need to do, your job is just to note them as they are. If it's in front of you, you note them in front of you. Don't go and look for the original place. Don't look for the place that it used to be. Because sometimes when things are progressing, what happened is during this time is that the concept, the idea of a place is slowly begin to removed, and only sensation or the process is happening right now. So this one, as I said, the concept of a place, whether hands or even sometimes the leg here or there, it begin to remove itself due to the nature of the clarity and the noting mind. Only it notice the reality. It begin to take the reality much more clearer and not so much on the concept. Yeah? So when it doesn't take on so much on the concept, so as if like the object is being removed from its original place, and it's like somewhere in the front, somewhere at the side there. Yeah? So this is perfectly all right. Yeah? It's just the changes of concept. Yeah? Now all this type of when the concept are slowly being eroded or slowly being removed, sometimes a lot of funny things that are happening in the meditation. Like you used to know that, like your hands, your fingers, even you close, you can see the hands, finger, the shape, and all that. And then at certain times, even the shape is no more there. It's only sensation, it's only reality. Yeah? So many things when this happen, sometimes yogi get shocked. So as I said many times, a lot of things, new things that you do not see in your out there, or you have not seen in the past development, past meditation, these type of things will become more clearer to the yogis. And of course, the yogi may be surprised or may be shocked for a little bit. So nevertheless, you're not wrong. All you need to do is keep paying attention to it. Then you will get used to it. Yeah? Is this an experience of anatta? Well, not to say it's not, but it's not a strong anatta. It is there because again here concepts are being removed, and then you see things, you see processes much more clearer. So it's in a way it's anatta, but not a strong one. Okay, next question. Is there any differentiation between bare awareness and noting mind? If so, what are the different circumstances for application? If is there any differentiation between bare awareness and noting mind? If so, what are the different circumstances for application? All right. Okay. So you want to know the difference between bare awareness and noting mind. Usually in my talks, I don't use the word bare awareness. Usually I don't use the word bare awareness because there are different authors. when they write Dharma books or meditation books, the word bare awareness, different author can mean different things. Can mean different things. The word bare awareness was used by this Nyanaponika Thera. The Nyanaponika Thera, this is a late German monk, passed away many years during the time of the time of Mahasi Sayadaw. He wrote a number of books like The Three Evil Roots, also is a very good book. The Four Brahma Viharas, also a very good one. Wrote about the power of mindfulness, I think. That also is very good also. So it's a very good writer. That in his way of describing, he used the word bare awareness. But when he used the word bare awareness, that is equivalent to a noting mind. That means the mind that is sharply noticing what is really going on. Whatever the object that comes in, that it notices everything. So squarely and barely noticing what is going on without like thinking about it, without commenting, without theory, without all this type of, sometimes there's a lot of commenting at the back of our mind. So it's totally, fully alert on the object. So they use the word bare awareness. Okay. Now, other authors, they may use the word bare awareness as equivalent to just mindfulness. And it may not be noting mind. Okay, it's just mindfulness, but it is not a noting mind. Here, when we say noting mind, it is a mind that it has to be sharply noticing, seeing its changes as what is going on there. Whereas, if your mindfulness is there only, but there's no precision in the noting, observation, that means you're just there, you're just present, you just know what is going on. And you just know only, you just know only. Like you sit down, you're just being present, you just go walk in the park, you're present, you take a cup of drink, you're present, you do whatever that you're present. So sometimes they use the word bare awareness for that too. So it may be confusing for if those who do not know how to meditate, or it may create confusion in the yogis also. Okay, so it all depends on how it is the author take a look at it. It may be the same as noting mind, it may not be the same. So usually I don't use the word bare awareness. But because of this, since you asked this question, what would be good is that to understand that at times in the retreat also, not all the time we can be thoroughly mindful. We can be, every time cannot be perfectly thoroughly mindful. Sometimes we bring a notch down, just mindful but not so thorough. So, other words are, while you're in the retreat right now, there are only two states of mind that you should apply. One is mindfulness, without that sharpness of the mind. Second is the sharpness that comes with mindfulness, the penetrative mind that comes with mindfulness. If you don't have these two, then your mind will be something like out there already. Very luan, very a lot of defilements, a lot of all this restless mind and all those things. So if you don't have these two, then you're not in a retreat mode already. Yeah? So when do we use this mindfulness, and when do we use this noting mind, in a sense? During in the part where you do just mindful, then at times during in your daily activities, not all the time, but some of the time, you try to bring the mind to the present. But that time you may not be so sharp. You may not be so penetrative. Like for example, you want to take a shower. So many ladies are waiting. You're gonna be so slow, isn't it? Then you mindful, you're aware. So therefore, your actions a little bit faster, but your mind is here. Not like while you are here taking a shower, then you start singing, or your mind is at the back in that home and so on. So if that means you're not mindful. So other times, for example, during in the daily activities, that you may need to be a bit more sharper, a little bit more clearer. For example, when you are sitting down during your breakfast, lunch, at that time, because your body is relaxed, then you pay attention to them more clearer, more detailed. That means you bring in the noting mind to note them more sharper, more clearer, chewing, biting, tasting, swallowing, and then the hand is scooping and so on. So don't forget that. Sometimes yogis tend to come in, they're not in a retreat mode sometimes first day, second day, but my eyes are really on them already. Wait until the interview comes. So, I'm not here to scare you out, don't worry. Anyway, you have to make an effort when your body is in a relaxed position. When it's relaxed, pay attention to it more clearly. So let's say when you get up and then you want to put the plates to the kitchen and so on, and then you do it a little bit more with mindfulness, but not so much noting mind, perhaps. So this is how we do it. So at times, like for example, there's nobody waiting for you for a short period of time, just for 10 seconds or 15 seconds or so. Then when you want to open the door or you want to close the door, then be more alert, be more sharper. How you feel the warm, the cold, and so on is there. The pushing and so on. So that would be good because especially for those who just arrive, this way of the daily, you exercise the daily activities, it arouses the mindfulness much more faster. And it arouses the mindfulness faster, and then you settle down into the meditation retreat faster, in the sense that it will help you to overcome a lot of your sleepiness and a lot of drowsiness within a day or two or three. If you don't do that, then you have to wait until like 5, 6, 7 days only, then only the mind clear. Then only you have one more week to go only. Yeah. So we have to learn to settle the mind down. Actually, for those who come or next time you want to come for a retreat, it would be good that you learn to settle the mind down first before you come to a retreat. But some of us are working. We have to clear a lot of things, especially we need to clear all the deadlines and whatever. Then only we come, and then the whole mind is few days is so a lot of thinking. For those who are more able to, then it will be good that just to settle the mind. Then by the time you come to a retreat, 1 or 2 days, then the mind is already ready for more deeper noticing. Now, when you come to the walking meditation, so when you come to the walking meditation, again, generally in the beginning is when we do the one phase, one step, then that time is more of a mindful, but not penetrating yet. It's more mindful. You relax first, relax the body first. Take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes, relax the body. Then only after that, when you're ready, when your mind and body is ready and you're more calmer, clearer, then you go into more thorough noticing. Second phase and third phase, as the more that you slow down, the more you pay attention to what is going on. Sensation like hard, soft, warm, cold. And also at the same time, especially the first few days again, the labeling will be important. The labeling, bring the labeling in. rising, falling, sitting, touching, lifting, pushing, dropping, right step, left step, eating, chewing, all the labeling, bring it in. It will be helpful to settle the mind even faster. Yeah? Then sitting meditation. During sitting meditation is an immediate. You sit down, when you're ready, immediately you go to your primary object or any object that is prominent. Usually the primary object we go first. Go to the primary object and start observing already. Don't wait, don't relax until like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, then only we want to do something. No, you shouldn't do that in a retreat. At home, it's okay. Because at home, sometimes we got a lot of things to do before we do the sitting. But in the retreat, you're supposed to able to carry the whole mindfulness, sharpness of the noting mind from the walking into the sitting, or from the daily activities, the clarity into the sitting. That means once you're sitting, body relaxed, start paying attention to what is ever is going on. So this is how we apply the noting mind and also or just mindfulness. Yeah. So this is how we do it. Okay. All right. Next question. Okay. Now, in an intensive retreat, generally, would most yogis experience insight 1, 2, 3, or more? Or what is the average percentage of those who are able to experience the first few insight? In an intensive retreat, generally would most yogi experience insight 1, 2, 3? Or what is the average of those who are able to experience the first few insights? Yeah. Now. As I said now, when we come to the insight knowledge, don't become too obsessive about them. Okay, they are they are theoretically like as if they theoretically talk about the progress of from beginning until enlightenment, at least on the first path on the enlightenment. Yeah. But the thing is that don't become too obsessive and then make it to become your yardstick, your measuring tape, where you are right now, You put a book there. You take a Mahasi Sayadaw's book and then you read about it. Oh, where am I? Am I here or am I here? So it gets confusing, actually. Sometimes it gets confusing. What you should do with understanding of this insight, at least when we talk about insight, we give you an idea that what you should be noticing, what objects you should be noticing, and what object you shouldn't be noticing. As you keep on noting each and every object of the mind and physical processes, every little noticing that you make, every little experience that you notice, that experience will be for the next moment. And the next moment is for the next moment, the next moment is for the next moment. If you miss that noticing, let's say, then of course you will be stagnant for that moment until the mindfulness come in again. Then you note again and again and again, and then progress moment by moment, moment by moment. So every little moment that you're noticing, these are insights. These are insights. These are vipassana knowledge. So they're all built upon each other. They're all built upon each other. There's no such thing as you don't do anything, you stay in the retreat, you don't make the effort, and then suddenly 1 week later you got first insight. No, there's no such thing. You have to work for it. So, other words, when you work for it, moment after moment, every observation, it's stacked up on each other. They stack up in each other. Then you experience those things. So, if you don't make the effort, you come to a retreat, you don't make the effort, you come here, relax, and so on. Then it can be a hard time for you to develop anything. But here it's not so easy because I walk around. When you sit, I walk around. So I come and count how many yogi. How come not around? I can go and check already. Even toilet also I masuk. You don't see me lah, you don't see me. Sometimes you may see me, but sometimes you don't. Yeah. Yeah. So I do come up and check once in a while. Yeah. So make sure that you all do your walking, sitting, and keep noting. As long as you keep noting, yeah, progress will be there. It's just that you're not satisfied with your progress, but it's there. Yeah. Sometimes yogis have already progressed some insights, but they still bosong. Where am I, Bhante? First insight ka, second insight ka, or near the Nibbana already, Bhante. Now, what are the average here, or whether the yogi experienced the first insight, second insight? For me, when I interview all of you, or any of the yogi, I don't think of which insight you are in. No. I don't think. My job is to make sure that you don't go wrong. My job is to make sure that you notice and you make the effort to notice, or sometimes you have problem with noticing, maybe some thinking, maybe some sleepiness and all that. I help you to make sure your mind can able to come back and keep noting and keep noting and keep noting. So as long as you're doing it right, you're doing the right job as noticing and so on, then I'll let you just keep going. I cannot be thinking of like so many yogis. This one first insight, that one second insight, that one near nibbana, that one arahant, that one sotapanna. Cannot. Hey, I don't go and absorb all your experience. Your experience, the moment you come out from this interview room, I forgot I forgot everything already. Until you come in, I see your face. Then agak where you are, agak what you talk about, But after that, I can't remember. Yeah. So many yogis. If I keep on remembering, then I'll the first one go crazy. Huh? I have to the moment the moment you get out now, you do it rightly. We know that as long as you do it rightly, you make the effort, the insights will come naturally. Yeah? So whether in one retreat yogi sees all this type of thing, no. Again, different yogis have different way of development. Some yogis they take a few retreats just for the mind to actually settle down and something for them to see in the rising and falling. Few retreats I mean, each retreat may be like 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, and then they have to go through a few retreats first. Then only, now only I know how to properly do walking. Now only I know how to observe rising and falling sensation here and there. After the 2 or 3 retreats, but I know that if they make the effort if you have to be 2 or 3 retreats, better rather than 2 or 3 lifetime to come. So it's still all right, still okay. So some yogis they start off quite slow. They start off quite slow, but when they get the hang of it, then it starts to build up and they can see some significant development after that. Now, some yogis, they start off quite fast and then somewhere in the middle there, they get hang. Hang because of, why? Because of pleasantness that's coming in, joy that's coming in, sometimes images like the Vipassana Upakilesa that I talked about a few days ago. They get hang there, they get attached into these type of things. So when get attached to these type of things, then they slow down the whole progress. They don't note anymore. But for whatever reasons, sometimes they slow down for whatever reasons, we just do not know. So that's why I don't think about the insights that yogi are going through. If I want to think, yes, I could, but I don't go and do all this stuff. This one, I go and agak where you are, Japa bo eng. So, so, so I cannot really answer you these questions. So don't worry about insight. As long as you notice everything clearly, precisely, then the progress will be yours, will be there. So all you need to do when you come to a retreat, make sure you make the effort. Yeah? Okay, next question. Now, this is also an insight. Can Bhante please provide more example on insight number 3? Insight number 3. Insight number 3 is insight or knowledge of comprehension, samasana jnana. Yeah? Knowledge of comprehension, insight number 3. Now, this insight, knowledge of comprehension, when we talk about this knowledge of comprehension, then what does it comprehend? Then here, theoretically, it falls under anicca, dukkha, anatta. Comprehend by groups. Comprehension by groups. Groups of anicca, groups of dukkha, groups of anatta. Theoretically speaking, this is theory. Practically speaking, while you're noting, you don't see them as group one, You see them everything in a haphazard manner. Haphazard manner. And sometimes you may think that you are going backward, you think that you are not progressing that well. Because again, here, different yogis experience these things differently, slightly differently. Some experience a little bit more anicca. Some experience a little bit more dukkha. Some experience a little bit more anatta. Okay? Now, the day also I talk about characteristic of an object. Every object got its 3 characteristics. The first characteristic is its individual characteristics. That is to say, one object is different from another object. Rising and falling is different from, let's say, heat. Feelings, pleasant feelings, feelings is different from rising and falling. Painful feelings is different from rising and falling. Rising and falling is different from the restless mind. As restless mind is different from desiring mind or sleepiness. So in other words, each and every one of them, they are different in their characteristics. So we, as an object, as a meditator, in the beginning, especially in the development, we notice the characteristic. We notice rising and falling, we notice sensation, so we are directing the mind onto the characteristics of the object. This is how vipassana is being developed. We look into the characteristic. We know that this is hardness, this is softness. Hardness is, it feels like that. Rising, falling, movement, it feels like that. Pain, pulling, pain, it feels like that in such and such a way. Pulling here, trying here. So many examples that if you are a meditator, we are looking at the characteristics right in the beginning. But as you keep on meditating, noticing these characteristics, then as you go into deeper into the development, then this is where the second characteristic of the object begins to appear to you. That is to say, the beginning, the middle, the end. Okay, beginning, middle, the end. This is the 3 characteristic, or they call it the Sankata Lakanya. Sankata means formation. Lakkhana means characteristic. So there's a beginning, middle, and ending. But as I said many times in the past, I'm not sure whether in this retreat or not. I think I did. Somewhere 1-2 months ago. I mentioned that that characteristics, although when we read about it, it's beginning, middle, end. But when you're actually observing it, when it happens, you don't see three of them sekali datang, they don't come together. Sometimes you see them in the beginning, but you don't see them the middle, the ending. Sometimes you see an ending, but you don't see them the beginning, the end. Sometimes you see the middle only, but not the ending, and so on. Sometimes you see three of them. So the development of vipassana doesn't mean that the more that you deeper that you go, these three characters, this beginning, middle, end, they are clear to you. Sometimes they are clear, sometimes not so clear. Okay. Now the third characteristic is the the arising and passing away. So, in other words, every phenomena, every object of the mind or body, they always have this arising and passing away. But whether you can see it or not, that's another thing. But it's already there. Just like right now, all of us, this arising and passing away phenomena, it's already inside already. It's already inside us. It's whether you can able to notice them or not. Your mind is sharp or not, or developed or not. So this arising and passing away, they are common in all phenomena. Beginning, middle, end also common in all phenomena. The first characteristic is just that they are differently, individually. So that's why in the beginning of the practice, you don't have to go and look for how is the beginning, how is the middle, how is the end. The beginner yogi cannot see it. Yeah. You're going to force yourself if you do that in the beginning of your practice. Even when you are out there doing some, let's say once a week, go to a center or meditate, then you try to look for beginning, middle, end. You're going to have a lot of forcing into your mind, and then after that, you don't want to meditate because it's very taxing to the mind. So you shouldn't do that in the beginning part. But as you able to develop, let's say in a vipassana retreat and during vipassana, and you're able to develop, then it will come to you see the beginning, middle, and end quite clearly at certain time, and especially at the insight number 3, knowledge of comprehension. Then this beginning, middle, and end can be quite clearly. But doesn't mean that higher development you don't see, Sometimes higher development you see only the ending only. So don't think that it is the all that you will see. So beginning, middle, and end, you will see it more clearly, especially in the third insight. How does it being seen? For example, you take the pain, for example. In the beginning of the retreat, in the beginning of your development, you see this pain as pain never end, right? Pain until the time end, but your pain still not end yet. So you tahan there, tahan. So you still watch. 1 hour, get up, okay, fine. But this time, at the knowledge number 3, then the pain, you see them ending. But the next one come up because you see the beginning of the next one. You see how it's sustained there for a while, and then you see that how it ends. And then after that, when it ends, another one comes. But when it comes, it's like coming very strongly, ouch, and then then you thought that you are having a good time, and then sekali coming again, then it stay there and then disappear. Maybe even with that also, not only just that, but sometimes you also see like the thinking mind. And it comes, you're aware of it, it stays for a while, then it gone. You come, it stays there, after that it gone. It doesn't stay long. So you know that it's coming, you feel that it's coming, you know that it's there, and you know that it's disappearing also. Perhaps, even like sensation like lifting, pushing, dropping. Sometimes you feel that the beginning of the lifting, you see it quite clearly. Then after that, it lifts it up also clearly, and then it stops also quite clearly. So you can see sometimes the stopping is there also, which is the ending in a sense. So whether rising and falling, that you notice this time, a lot of times in the beginning part of our development, then you only notice rising, falling, and so on. But this time, you see them that they are beginning, middle, and end. How it begins, how it stays, how it ends. But at the same time also, the rising and falling may not be always straight and rising, falling. It may turn and pull and go in many different ways. It may turn and whatever lah. It will come, but it will come as sometimes very erratic, very random. It's going to come, and for a short while it's going to disappear, and then after that another object arises somewhere else. Maybe thoughts arises already, come go. Then after that, sensation of the body come go, and then after that sensation of feelings, some feelings come, and then notice that it is go, and then so that's why it become like haphazard now. Like you got like previously, you can stay with the rising falling, quite clearly. But this time for a short while, you notice it, and then it jumps to another one already. So during this time, you may be noticing change for a while. Then after that, you may noticing like anatta, non-self, because things keep on changing on their own accord. You cannot control them where they want to go. It's from here, after that there, after that there, after that there. Then after that, you notice unpleasantness that comes and go, come and go. Not just here unpleasant, but sometimes somewhere else also unpleasant. It comes, it goes. So everything when it mix up, it's totally like Roja there. And yet you progress on it. That is how it progresses. So when it comes to experience-wise, the yogi goes through a very haphazard noticing during this time, but it's perfectly all right. As I said many times, you have to learn to trust your noting mind. You trust your noting rather than you trust your own thinking. Whatever that's being shown to you, pay attention to them. So the more that you learn to pay attention to them, progress actually takes place. But if you start thinking, hey, this one should not be like that one, this one, how come it's so haphazard? It's not so organized, in that sense. Then you want the way that you want. That is where you're going to slow down in your practice. Yeah. So this time it is something like that. So as it getting more matured in this area, then again, all the images and all the sensation and like pleasant feelings and so on starts coming in already this time. More stronger one. Not to say that in the past you don't see all these images, but this time the clarity of the images or clarity of the pleasant feelings, joy, and so on becomes much more clearer. And even like the balance of the faculties become much more better also. That means you can able to meditate quite long actually. This is something on the third insight. Something but there are more than that. You go and experience it yourself. But then don't overthink about it. Okay, next one. Next one, even lagi jalan. What does Nibbana look like? What does Nibbana look like? You ask me, how do I know? Go and experience it yourself. Yeah. All right. now since you talk about nibbana, okay. Now in the past few days, in the past few talks, we've been dwelling a little bit on the nibbana and enlightenment because of we are talking on the equanimity. I think that some of you also have been following the Dhamma talks, in the from Zoom or from Facebook or from YouTube. So I've been following it, at least roughly what I've been talking about, in the past few talks. So we have been touching on Nibbana here and there, and then path friction that takes Nibbana as an object. Now again here, when one experiences Nibbana, now the Buddha used the epithet for Nibbana or the terms for Nibbana in many ways. Sometimes there is a compilation of all the names for Nibbana, compiled from the suttas, Abhidhamma, everything. They compile everything. They got over like 40 over names for it, 40 terms of Nibbana. For example, they give you a few example like deathlessness, no death. Yeah? Uh, uh, no birth also, no deathlessness and non-birth. I forgot the word. And then also like cessation of dukkha, like in the Third Noble Truth, cessation of dukkha. Uh, 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 se- um, it gave the word peace. The word peace also is nibbana. Kanti or safe, kema, also is the word for this one. Santi sukha, like over here, is mean for nibbana actually. Yeah. The meaning, the meaning that the Buddha used. So there are many terms for it. Many terms for it. Sometimes they use the word non-arising, non-passing away. Also is there. So here, the nibbana is like a totally different dimension. When we talk about nibbana, it's like the Buddha used the simile of the fish and the turtle. Fish and the turtle is that the fish and the turtle are talking. The fish, the turtle said to the fish, there's such thing as land without water. For the fish is that, huh? What do you mean a place without a land that there's no water? To the fish is that because the fish never go out of water. It's always inside water. So the turtle have gone to the land and also inside water. So the Buddha is something like that. Those who are able to experience Nibbana is something like that. So no matter how much we describe Nibbana, then it's totally a different dimension because we are as a Puthujjana. Then here, the experience of Nibbana is through our own I, me, mine, our craving, our own concept. So no matter how you think about it, conceptualize about it, cannot, no. You cannot. Yeah. Just like, for example, if you never taste an apple before, no matter how you're going to describe for the person who never tasted it before, it's impossible. Yeah? So the same thing, the realization of nibbana, it's difficult to describe because it's a very subtle object. But subtle doesn't mean that it's not clear. It is very clear. It's because that your mindfulness and the rest of the factors of enlightenment is so powerful at that time, every small little thing becomes magnified thoroughly, clearly. So in other words, even Nibbana also being seen clearly. because of the concentration and so on are supporting observation. Yeah. Now, experience of Nibbana also like it doesn't come suddenly. Sometimes in our Buddhist texts, sometimes we read about Dharma books, and also sometimes people talk about Nibbana. Suddenly they sit down, pung, and the light come out. Nibbana liao. No, it doesn't come like that. It doesn't come like that. Nibbana is a gradual development. It's like all the experiences that what you go through, it on top of each other again. Like all the insights that you go through, it falls on top of each other until your mind is matured enough. Then then all the insights that we've gone through, the development we've gone through, then when your mind is ready, when we see Nibbana as an object. We call it Nibbana as an object, unconditional state, amata, non-death, deathless. Because sometimes when you experience it, Buddha used the word because sometimes for some yogis, when they experience it, they see that there is no beginning. No beginning because there's no arising. Just now we talk about characteristic of arising and passing away, right? While you are in samsara, the arising and passing away will never stop. That's why it carries you from one life after another life. The next moment of your next life, the moment that you die here, mentally arises and passes away together when the death consciousness is there. Immediately when it takes place, the first consciousness for your next rebirth is already arising and passing away already. There's no gap there. It's already arising and passing away. But whether what rebirth, we do not know. Let's say we don't worry about it. But there's also arising and passing away. There's no like suddenly you stop, then you rest for a while and then come on, then arising and passing away again. No, there's no such thing like that. The mind will always arises and passes away non-stop. So don't worry about which rebirth you take place, you become hantu, you become human, whatever. It's just arising and passing away. It's still there. As long as there's arising and passing away, that means there's always dukkha. That means that it arises and passes away. However it arises and passes away, in whatever, as long as there's arising and passing away, there's dukkha. So whenever you see there's dukkha, whenever you see this arising and passing away, because every time when you go into the vipassana, the more that you go deeper, the more you see arising and passing away, and only arising and passing away. There's no stop now. No? Even sometimes some yogis, they meditate, let's say, suddenly at one time there's no arising and passing away. They no, here. And then after that, it starts all over again, arising. Then suddenly they go and look nothing. Kawa boy, sudah sampai. Then still not yet, because sometimes consciousness can go a little bit more subtle. Then if the yogi builds up more mindfulness again, then this time, even the gap here, they notice it internally. Inside still got a little bit tiny one, arising and passing away. So in other words, they're still there. Sometimes even the consciousness themselves, there may a bit of gross consciousness that arises and passes away, and then there's also subtle type of consciousness that's arising and passing away. So you think that there's a gap there, but actually there's none. There still arises and passes away, even in a more subtle manner. Okay? That means there's no stopping. That's the problem with dukkha, the problem with samsara. So until you meditate, and then the mind matures, and then it sees nibbana as an object, then that time, because of its apana, because of its absorption, it can able to absorb and truly sees that everything stops. No matter how subtle, there's no subtlety anymore. That's the subtlest of everything already. Then there's no arising about. Then that time, some yogis sees that there is because there's no arising, no birth is there. Some yogis sees that there is no passing away, deathlessness is there. Passing as in terms of deathless. So they see that some people see that there's no arising and passing away. Because of that, no arising and passing away, the whole mind comes in the true cessation. That means it sees dukkha stop, cessation of dukkha. Yeah, they see a cessation of dukkha because everything goes into a stop. That is how the Buddha terms it. As I said, the dukkha, like yesterday or the day before that, I said the dukkha is not this pain and that pain only, It's the dukkha is because you see this arising and passing away again and again. Dukkha due to formation. Because that perception of dukkha due to formations are clear to the yogi. So when they see this cessation, this nibbana, they see that this is a cessation of dukkha. You see what I mean? Some yogis sees that this is the freedom from all the characteristics, because before you come in, you see changes impermanent here and there because of due to the formations and everything. But when you experience this nibbana, you experience as freedom from this one. So they give it a term, signless liberation. Because the signs of arising and passing away, or the objects and mental bodily formation, they name it this way. So it all depends on how your mind inclined to it. I mean, this is up to a person's personality already. You cannot change that. After all, it's all nibbana only. So you don't have to worry which one is better, 搞得好了。you reach there, you're good enough already. So you don't have to worry which one. As long as you keep on progressing, if you keep on noting, it will come to an end one. Yeah? It's just when I do not know. So something like that. Something like that. So, okay, the next question. Now, the next question. Please clarify, a Sotapanna has 7 more lives or 7 more existence to go. I understand that one existence may comprise many lives. Please clarify, a Sotapanna has 7 more lives or 7 more existence to go. I understand that one existence may comprise many lives. Now here, when you say that Sotapanna, 7 more lives and 7 more existence, or here rather not just existence, you have to use the word planes of existence. Planes of existence, just like the 31 planes of existence. We call it the planes of existence, the realm of existence. Which realm are you going to go through? Now, really, I do not know the answer, but I can give you the description only. I just have to make this clear. Your job is going to find out it yourself. Go and attain until Sotapanna. Next 7 life, you still come back, come and tell me if I'm around. If not, doesn't matter. What matter is that currently, as for the sake of for the sake of the question, now there are 7 more lives or 7 more planes of existence. Now, some people, conceptualize that or have because due to their studies and so on, 7 more lives, that means you actually 7 more lives. 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, 4 life, 6 life, 7 life. So whichever life, maybe you can be a human right now because you do a lot of good. Maybe the next life, Deva, then you go in the next Deva, that means third life already, Then suddenly, then then 7 life, and then your journey comes to an end. That is how normally people understand. You know? Now, 7 more existence, there are also certain certain commentary. It says that the Sotapanna, yeah, it doesn't mean that there's 7 more lives, but 7 more planes of existence that he has to go through. Now, each plane, perhaps you may have to go through a number of lives, perhaps. Then that means what I mean by planes of existence. Here, let's say, you see, human realm and the Deva realm is considered one realm. Sensual realm. The sensual realm. Then, of course, we don't talk about the apayana. We don't talk about the woeful states. We don't talk about because you will not go there anymore, right? So we talk about sensual realm. So sensual realm belongs to human realm and the 6 deva realm, according to the 31 planes of existence. Okay. Now, next one, you have the Brahma realm or the Rupa realm. So the Rupa realm, you have a 16 level due to whether it's the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and then the maturity of the resultant of the jhana is rebirth in this realm of existence, 16 realm. And then after that, you have Arupa jhana, Arupa realm. Arupa realm, that means beings reborn mind only without body, and they can live for a long period of time. And then that one is you go through Arupa jhana, and then the resultant of Arupa jhana is reborn in this type of realm. So in other words, there are 3 realms. So let's say, according to some commentaries, it says that if you die this life, let's say, die in this life, and then next life, you are reborn as a deva or as a human. Then you still considered 6 more life to go. There's still 1 life. But if you, let's say you reborn, you still consider, let's say you reborn a few times as a human, as a deva, let's say, then you still considered as 1 plane of existence. That means you haven't finished the next plane yet. We haven't gone through the 6 more planes of existence. So it can be that. Then, let's say you meditate and then you end up in a Brahma world. So you end up in a Brahma world, that means you already remove 1 more plane of existence. So 5 more, let's say. 5 more. Then let's say you come down again to the human realm again. From Brahma, let's say you come down to a Deva realm, because it's a different Rupa and sensual realm. So if you go that and then, okay, then the third one already you kautim. But if you reborn in a Brahma again, then it's still considered 1. So that is how the commentary, certain commentary says that if you move from 1 realm to another realm, then after that, end of your journey. So other words, there is 2 way of looking at it, 2 way of looking at it. So which one you prefer? So which one you like? It's not what you like. We also really, according to commentary in this way, according to suttas or even certain description in the suttas another way. So it doesn't matter. What doesn't matter? We know that whether it's 7 more lives or what, that there will be coming to an end. Whichever way, there will come to an end. It will come to an end. Sometimes 7 more lives is just it's a minimum thing, Sometimes some yogis according, there are different types of sotapanna, because due to the level of their development, if those who are minimum grade is 7 life, minimum grade. Then there's another grade, is that you are going to reborn from 1 good family to another good family to another good family until you end your This one. Yeah. Some again, this is 2 or 3 more lives, then you're going to end already. That means again, they may come into the higher development. Some maybe only have 1 life, the next one is already end already. But also I say this one. So again here, it's a very complicated thing. Unless you have a psychic power, a divine eye, where you can able to see how beings die and how they take rebirth. And that is interesting because we don't have that. Then we only dependent on the commentaries and dependent on the suttas and so on. And it's all book knowledge. So because we don't have that special powers of the mind, then we cannot describe more than that. So you ask me, I do not know exactly the answer. So 7 more lives, 7 more lives. As I said, doesn't matter as long it comes to an end of samsara. As long as the don't go down into the woeful states, then that one very difficult already. As long as you out of it, then there will be a full stop. Yeah? So that is something like that. Yeah? Okay, the next one. The next one is coming from the from those who, in online. The earlier ones are all from the yogis over here. Okay, next question. When a yogi experiences separation of body, mind, and I, the yogi knows that they are separated. Bodily pain arises, the mind knows and just stayed with the pain. But why the I felt painful, which cannot sustain the stronger pain, the mind or I? The I is nothing, right? The question here. Yeah? So again, when a yogi experiences separation of mind, body, and I, the yogi knows that they are separated. Pain arises, the mind knows and just stayed with the pain. But why the not I, the capital I, felt painful, which cannot sustain the stronger pain? Is it the mind or I? The I is supposed to be nothing, right? Yeah. The question is like that. I mean, here, while you're noting, while you're paying attention to your object of your meditation, what is important is that don't overthink too much. Don't overthink too much. You overthink too much, sometimes it creates even more confusion. Sometimes when you meditate, sometimes you meditate, then sometimes you note the body, you note the mind process, and then suddenly, who knows the knowing mind? Who knows the rising and falling? Who knows the knowing mind then? Is it the mind knows the mind? Is it the I knows the mind? Macam mana sekarang, Then you get confused. And then you get confused. Who knows the knowing mind right now? Who knows the noting mind right now? Although the mind is clear right now. So this time, when it happens in this way, it's good that you experience this thing, which is wonderful. But the thing is that don't overthink about it. Don't overthink it. The I am, the sense of an I is not so easily removed just because you do vipassana. Hey, the I have been following it for us for samsara already. Just because you meditate 1 week, 2 weeks, the I disappears. No, not so fast. Don't become too overconfident that this I is going to remove so fast. It's there. It's a sense of an I, but actually it's a concept that is we are creating the whole concept. Yeah? So the sense of an I is still there, but don't get too attached to it. What you should do is just keep noting. You feel the pain is there, strong pain. Yes, it's because right now the mindfulness is clear, good. But again, here, don't overthink. Just note the pain. Just note pain, pain, pain. Knowing, pain, 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 knowing, I, then knowing, is it I there? And then never mind, just keep noting, just keep noting. Because sooner or later, as your mindfulness grows, as your clarity of your mind grows, this sense of an I, it will slowly and slowly being removed. You just be aware of, I mean, in the meantime, you just be aware of it, as if like there's an I there is still watching. Just like we go back to the first question. Just the first question, we says that when you're noticing the sitting and touching, and then it's not in the original place anymore, as if like it's moving from in there. So here, the concept is being slowly removed. Now, initially, when we meditate also, as I said, that sometimes when you notice that palms or your this one, you cannot, you close your eyes, but a sense of your shape of your fingers and your whole palm is still there very clearly in us. You notice that, yeah, the finger here at the end of the at the end of the fingers, the second finger, or the end of the fourth finger. You know everything because the shape and the form is still there for you. So slowly and slowly, when the concept begins to remove, then you only feel sensation on it. So too the I am also the same thing. The sense of an I is a concept. So the more that you pay attention to these things of hardness, softness, pain, and sensation, you notice the mind that noticing the pain, which is good in a way. Then this time, you still feel an I is still there, but keep noticing. Sooner or later, that I will slowly and slowly begins to remove itself. So you're doing on the right track. Just don't overthink on it too much. Okay? Yeah. Don't worry which one is feeling it more painful. It doesn't matter. Just note it will do. Just note the pain and see how the pain are changing. Yeah? The I is just concept only, finally, Yeah. Last question on this one. Could Bhante please explain why some arahants don't practice lying down for over 10 or 20 years? Does it mean that they don't sleep or they sleep in a sitting posture? Could Bhante please explain why some arahants don't practice lying down for over 10 or 20 years? Does that mean that they don't sleep or they sleep in a sitting posture? Now, this non-lying down, this one, it's called a form of a Dutanga practice, ascetic practices. Yeah, ascetic practices means that you want to sever certain of our attachments, especially our attachment, food, comfort, and so on. So the Buddha lists down 13 types of ascetic development. Now, this 13 part of 13 Dutanga practices is part of an extension of Sila. Extension of Sila, because this one is outwardly, right? It's outwardly. So outwardly in the sense of a body. So in a way, it's a Sila practice, extension of Sila. Not every ascetic practices the Buddha recommends, There are only certain which is helpful to reduce the greed, reduce the attachment, to reduce the comfort. Then the Buddha recommends those things. Not just like the Buddha talk about the middle path. Avoid avoid what? Self-mortification. And the other one? Sensual pleasures. So the self-mortification here is that when you do a lot of self-mortification, but it doesn't contribute to the reduction of greed or attachment and so on. But there are certain ascetic practices which looks like a self-modification, but it actually reduces the certain greed or certain attachment. Yeah? Yeah. So one of it is called the sitter's practice. Sitter, S-I-T-T-E-R. Sitter. You sit, sitter's practice. On practice of non-lying down. Yeah. So even arahants, they do it, like for example, like Sariputta, Moggallana, if I'm not mistaken, also like the Buddha's son, Rahula, Rahula also, and Anuruddha also. Anuruddha is supposed to be good, excellent in the divine eye, and also excellent in the four foundation of mindfulness. That Venerable Anuruddha. It says that this Venerable Anuruddha do this sitter's practice for over 50 years. 50 years not lying down. Yeah, one night no lie down, be tahan already. Cannot tahan, one die already. Now, this not lying down posture, okay, there have three grades, three different grades. The lowest grade is that you can no. Let's put the highest grade first. The highest grade is that when you sit, you must not have anything that support your back. You can sleep. You can sleep while sitting. After all, you're doing it already. You're doing it in your meditation. Sit and sleep there. You're there. You're quite good at it already, in fact. But this one, they make a purpose not to lie down. They sit, and if they want to sleep, they sit sleeping and they rest like that. So it's not easy without the backrest and so on. So this is the first grade. Nothing to support also, there's nothing to support. Second grade is that you can have a backrest. You can have a backrest. You can have a chair also. This one, but the chair must not have like a armrest. It's just only a backrest. No armrest. But the legs has to be touching the floor. The legs has to be touching the floor. It cannot be like putting up like that. It has to be touching the floor. The third grade, lowest grade, is that it can have a support. It can have an armrest. It can have a back. This one. So you can sleep in that position as long as you don't lie down. As long as you don't lie down. Now, when you do this type of this one, first few days is going to be very difficult because you're not so used to it. But if you determine after a few days, you can get used to it. You can last you for a few months. You can last you next time when we start a retreat. We start with a sitter's practice. So all come, we do sitter's practice. No lying down. See how many will come to the retreat. Actually, you laugh right now, but actually when you're able to do it, you pass through these few days, a difficult first few days. After that, your body feel comfortable. But I wouldn't say for those people who have injury lah, old age lah, this one as that is going to be difficult. That one I understand. But those who are young enough, strong enough, then if you're able to practice those things, then you'll find that the mind is easily get alert. You can sleep there. You can, in fact, that you can have a very good sleep also. You can have a good sleep also. And when you have that good sleep, you wake up also, you can able to meditate. You can meditate very well. Your body is strong enough actually. And after that, but the body get used to it, actually the body can meditate the whole trip. Like what you're doing over here. It's just that at night, you don't lie down on it. So when you do that, after some time, what will happen to you is that your attachment to lying down to comfort is very much reduced. You see a bed, because of your determination of not lying down, you make that determination, you're not lying down, then that time you get your mind is so strong in the sense that the sleepiness and so on doesn't affect you so much, unless of course you're tired. But the mind doesn't like for example, like after lunch, oh, I have to take a nap. You want to take a nap, you sit and nap. Then that time your mind is always like in ready for meditation. Then with that, in long term to come, your body energy and your effort, it's so remarkable is that that you're not easily get attracted to whether you are uh, meditating or non-meditating time. You are so attracted to the bed, even after, let's say, for after some time, you gave up on the non-lying down. After you gave up, then the time also after that, you are quite okay. We are not so attached to all this type of sleepiness, laziness of the mind. You are always alert to do something. So it's a very good practice. And if you can able to do that also, if monks or nuns or people do that, then there are a lot of faith from people, others, that you can see that you can actually able to do those type of things. The confidence arises in the devotees or in others. So that also is, in a way, it's a good side effect. Yeah. So in a good side, it is a benefit for the yogi or the practitioner is that the non-attachment to the lying down. So anywhere you go, got bed, no bed, doesn't matter. You can sit and sleep. Yeah. So it's good. So something like that. Yeah. Okay. So that's about all on the Q&A. So we stop here for the night. We have the next Dhamma talk is on Monday. Right. We share merits. Idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bhagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu. Sadhu.